morning students, hope you all are fine at your home. So today we're going to start with a new chapter, that is the plant kingdom, and I hope you all are doing your homework very well. So let's get started. Before starting the plant kingdom, I'll give you some brief introduction about the plants, and then we will discuss about the classification of the plant kingdom. So you know it very well that plants are chlorophyllous. Chlorophyllous means they contain pigment called chlorophyll. The green plants are green in color, and this green color is due to a pigment which is known as photosynthetic pigment, which is known as chlorophyll. So these plants are photosynthetic. These plants are photosynthetic and they can prepare their own food. That means they are autotrophic. They can prepare their own food. That means they are autotrophic. So second characteristic feature is that they have cell wall which is made up of cellulose. They have cell wall which is made up of cellulose. So plants, they are chlorophyllous. They contain a pigment called chlorophyll and they are photosynthetic. They can prepare their own food and they are said to be autotrophic in nutrition. Then they have cell wall which contains cellulose and pectin. They contain cellulose and pectin. Next thing is that the plants basically they have sexual organs. They have sexual organs which can be hidden or which cannot be hidden. Which can be hidden or which cannot be hidden. So these are some characteristic features of the plants. So let's discuss the classification of the plants so that each classes can be described in the future classes. So the plants basically, if we talk about the general classification, they are characterized into aquatic. They are classified into aquatic as well as terrestrial plants. They are classified into aquatic as well as terrestrial plants. So in aquatic, algae is the example which comes under Thallophyta. So algae further divided into red, brown and green algae. Okay, each of them we will discuss in later on classes. So aquatic, basically example is algae, which consists of three types: red, brown and green algae. Talking about the terrestrial plants, those plants which lives on the land are said to be terrestrial plants. So these plants, they can have xylem or phloem tissues, right? So those plants which lack this vascular tissue, they are said to be vascular tissue. Xylem helps in the transport of water in the plants. Phloem helps in the transport of food material in the plants. So they are said to be vascular tissue. So those plants which lack xylem and phloem and those which have these vascular tissue. So further terrestrial plant are divided basis of the vascular tissue. So those plants which lack xylem and phloem are bryophytes, bryophyta. And in bryophyta, we will discuss about the mosses and liverworts. Next, the xylem and phloem, those plants which have vascular tissue are further divided into two categories: those who reproduce by spores and those who reproduce by seeds. So spores, that is pteridophyta. In this we will discuss about the ferns. And those who reproduce by seeds, so they are further classified into two. One is gymnosperm and the other is angiosperm. One is gymnosperm, the other one is angiosperm. So this is about the classification. So plants are basically divided into two. One is aquatic, the other one is terrestrial. Aquatic have algae and there are three different types of algae. One is red, brown and green. Terrestrial plant based on the vascular tissue, they are divided into two. One, those have vascular tissue and those do not have the vascular tissue. So vascular tissue jinke andar nahi hote, they are Bryophyta, and we will discuss about the mosses and liverwort in the Bryophyta. If those have vascular tissue, they have those who reproduce by spores or those who reproduce by seeds. So those who have spores, they are Pteridophyta, and those who have seed, they are further classified into Gymnosperm and Angiosperm. So the next classification is based on the types of spores or the types of seed, those who produce seeds or not. So plants further classified based on seed, those who do not produce it. Okay? That means they produces spores. And those who reproduce by producing seeds. Clear? So those do not produce seeds, or they have a reproductive structure called spores. So in that we will discuss about the three classes. One is Thallophyta. In that we will discuss about algae. Okay. The second one is Bryophyta. And I told you in Bryophyta we will discuss about the liverworts and mosses. Clear? Next is Pteridophyta. In this we will discuss about the ferns. So these are the three different classes which comes under the organism which produces spores. They do not produce seeds. Next, those organism or those plant which produces seeds, they are further classified into two classes. One is Gymnosperms, and the second one is Angiosperms. What is the basic difference between Gymnosperm and Angiosperm? That gymno means naked, and sperm means seeds. Those plants which produces naked seeds, that means their seed is not produced inside the fruit, they have naked seeds. And angio means flowering plant or seeds. The flowering plants which are producing seeds are said to be angiosperm. So Gymnosperm have naked seeds and Angiosperm have the seeds which is enclosed in the fruit. And these Angiosperm further get divided into monocot and dicot. Here mono means single, cot means cotyledon. Cotyledon is a structure which have reserved food material in the seed. So in the seed, this particular part which have reserved food material is said to be cotyledon. So those plants which have single cotyledon in their seed are said to be monocot, and those have two cotyledons in their seed are said to be dicot. We will discuss all this in detail. So this is about the classification. And one more thing, the organism or the plant which do not produce seed are said to be cryptogamy, and those who reproduce by seeds or they have a reproductive structure called seed, they are said to be phanerogams. So this is about the classification. In the next class, we will discuss each class in the detail. Thank you so much.